My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. I'm absolutely delighted to tell you that one of my favourite hunter builds has been buffed big time. Strand Hunter, Whirly Boys, Suspending, got an absolutely massive buff because they actually buffed Ensnaring Slam. Suspended enemies with this ability grants you Woven Mail. Up to 20 seconds of Woven Mail will break this down, but having 20 seconds of Woven Mail is absolutely brilliant buff in my opinion. We're going to be featuring the Cyrtarachne's Facade as well, or Facade, however you want to call it. Activating Grapple grants Woven Mail as well, but more importantly, it actually gives you health as well. And we're going to be pairing it up with the Lustrous gear set from Solstice event, which also gives you healing, so double healing. In fact, it's going to be triple healing because we're going to be running Wolfsbane as well, which also does some nice damage and it heals you very consistently. Now, pairing Cyrtarachnes up with this feels sort of a bit weird because it also gives you Woven Mail, but the Ensnaring Slam and the Facade combo is really good because you do get health on kills, and with the Lustrous set, you get double the healing with solar weapons, so stay with me, I'll break this video down. We'll start off with the Cyrtarachnes. Activating your grapple grants Woven Mail. While that's active, Woven Mail provides flinch resistant and health when defeating targets. You get health when defeating targets with anything. That's weapons, abilities, things like that. So just a quick example, Woven Mail, use your grapple. We all know how Cyrtarachnes works, but yeah, use your grapple, get Woven Mail. Now, if you add in the actual second part of this, it provides flinch resistance and health when defeating targets. Like I said, any kill will give you healing. It's not a great amount, but if you pair it up with some gear sets, specifically the Lustrous gear set, the 4-piece bonus, Rapid Solar Final Blows will heal you. So in this clip, what you're seeing is the second part of the Cyrtarachnes and the Lustrous, and you'll see my health. I'm getting quite a lot of health back. That's because I'm getting the Cyrtarachnes buff and the Lustrous buff at the same time. Really, really nice. Feels very, very good in endgame content. I'll show you as well. So that healing is actually pretty good. And you've got Woven Mail very obviously on top of that, just from using your grapple. So this is where the Ensnaring Slam aspect comes into it, because this is really, really good anyway. Activating your air move will suspend targets. This is sort of like reduction anyway, because the enemies don't hurt you anyway when they're suspended, but you're also going to get Woven Mail now every time you suspend targets with this ability. So it's about 4 seconds per enemy. This is what I worked out. You said I got 4 seconds. All I'm going to do is run to the back and try to suspend 3 or 4 enemies and see what the number was. Obviously, I know what the timer was because it's a pre-recorded clip, but I'm just showing you guys. It's going to be whopping at 12 seconds, and that's for 4 enemies. So it's about 4 seconds per enemy. Again, add the second part of that Cyrtarachnes on. You're going to get Woven Mail from the Ensnaring Slam. So that is also going to proc that healing effects, which we talked about and what I demonstrated. Now, not to confuse you, the Cyrtarachnes will heal you on any kill. Don't forget any kill, but the Lustrous will heal you double with solar weapons. So you got your Whirling Maelstrom. That will also give you health back as well via the Cyrtarachnes once you've got Woven Mail active or from your Ensnaring Slam. Plenty of healing. Add some artifact perks on Tightly Woven while Woven Mail is active, which is going to be infinitely. You get increased class ability and grenade stats. Add Cauterized Darkness in there, 30% extra damage for strand debuff targets. Anything other than bosses. It's a free damage boost. Get that on. Threaded Blast, destroying a tangle with a strand damage, increases the radius and explosion of its damage. More damage to add to the mix. Added Tangled Web, creating a tangle by defeating strand debuffed target, also suspends nearby combatants. And then finally, because we're going to be using Sword and the new exotic Iron Lord's Vigor, while wielding a sword, you take decreased damage, Rapid Final Blows, grant ammo to the wielder. So, quick example, before we get onto the actual main footage. Get your Woven Mail active, whether it's from your grapple or from your Ensnaring Slam. You're going to get double the healing with the Lustrous on solar weapons and the Cyrtarachnes, and then also your Whirling Maelstrom will also whiz around and get you a little bit of healing as well. And then obviously with Lustrous, you want to be focusing on solo weapons. Now the Wolfsbane Sword is very, very good for this. I'm sure you've seen lots of videos on this over the last couple of days. But this will give you healing anyway from doing light attacks, and when you get the sort of nano swarm going, that will also give you crazy healing. So with this particular sword and the Lustrous set and the Woven Mail and the Ensnaring Slam and your Cyrtarachnes, the Woven Mail and all of that healing, you just get an absolute crap ton of health on tap all of the time. So now hunters get crazy damage reduction on the fly whenever they want. The Woven Mail proc is just sort of infinite now. And then as a double bonus, you're going to get that healing as well. You've got that Cauterized Darkness to take into account as well. Cauterized Darkness is kind of slept on. People don't seem to use it a lot, which is crazy to me because it is a 30% damage increase, including all of your weapon stats and whatever damage bonuses you've got going on as well, but cauterized against anything other than bosses. And as we know, in some of these conquests, we do get a lot of champions and tanky targets like wyverns and things like that. So Cauterized Darkness is just a really solid artifact perk to use. And again, face tanking left, right and centre these bosses. You can't normally do that, but this Wolfsbane Sword or axe is something different. It's very, very good for this type of thing. And getting that Woven Mail on fly is just absolutely cracked. This is an incredibly, incredibly strong hunter build, guys. I highly suggest you get on it and give it a try. It's very, very good. So, some fragments that really make this work. Thread of Continuity, Suspend, Unravel and Sever effects applied to have an increased duration. That one's obvious. You've got Thread of Generation, dealing damage, generates grenade energy. That just keeps your grapple energy topped up. That also works with your Whirling Maelstrom. Defeating suspended targets creates an Orb of Power. You're going to be suspending everything left, right, and centre, so that's 3 orbs. And then while you have Woven Mail, Weapon Final Blows will also create a tangle. 3 tangles for your Whirling Maelstrom. Here's my stats. Pretty balanced. I've run some font mods and things like that for my melee and weapons and super, and I basically just run a few heavy ammo mods. Here's my customization, what my armor is, what I look like. I thought it was pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. The other thing before we finish the video as well, I just want to sort of say it's actually quite a good support build as well, because you can literally just run around, especially with that seasonal artifact perk, Tightly Woven, which we mentioned, increased class and grenade stat. While you've got Woven Mail, you can literally run around and just keep suspending everything for your teammates as well. If you're ever short of a bit of ammo, just suspend your enemies for your teammates. Obviously, again, I know I mentioned the Wolfsbane Axe. I've done a couple of videos on it. This thing, once you've got that Nano Swarm charged up, guys, it's so good. It does loads of damage. And there aren't many builds in the game where you can face tank wyverns and bosses, but that's pretty much this build. Really, really strong. I'm going to leave a dim link in the video description. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.